Two of the most powerful military forces in modern history operated in Afghanistan. Both had advanced technology, massive budgets, and global influence, yet both faced serious challenges. Why did this happen? What made Afghanistan one of the most complex conflict environments in modern warfare? Let's dive into the factors that made Afghanistan a tough nut to crack for superpowers. The first factor to consider is the geographical challenge. Afghanistan's terrain is rugged and remote. It's a landlocked country, wedged between 6 others with a vast array of mountains, valleys, and deserts. This varied topography creates logistical nightmares for any military operation, let alone one by a foreign power. Imagine the difficulties of transporting personnel, equipment, and supplies across this rough terrain. The mountains make air travel risky, while the lack of developed roads complicates ground transportation. Extreme weather conditions, from scorching summers to freezing winters, add additional layers of complexity. Now let's think about the remoteness of regions within Afghanistan. Many areas are isolated, far removed from urban centers, making them difficult to access and control. This not only hampers military operations, but it also poses significant challenges for providing humanitarian aid or implementing development projects. Moreover, these remote regions often harbor non-state actors, further complicating the situation. In such a scenario, establishing effective communication networks becomes a monumental task, while maintaining security and order becomes even more challenging. In short, the geographical challenge of Afghanistan is a significant factor in the struggles faced by superpowers. It's not just about having the best military technology or the most well-trained soldiers. It's also about understanding and overcoming the geographical hurdles that can turn a seemingly straightforward military operation into a protracted and complex conflict. Next, we look at the complexity of long-term conflict. In Afghanistan, operations have been prolonged, often stretching across decades. This protraction of conflict is not a simple matter of endurance. It brings with it a host of challenges, unique to the landscape of long-term warfare. For starters, mission objectives evolve. What began as a quest to dismantle terror networks can morph into nation-building efforts or attempts at establishing stable governance. This shift is not just a change in direction, but it also extends the timeline of operations, making it a marathon, not a sprint. The evolving objectives can also lead to what we call mission creep, where the scope of a mission expands beyond its original goals. This can further complicate the matters on the ground and make the endgame even more elusive. It's like trying to hit a moving target while the rules of the game keep changing. Then there's the impact of cost. Long-term conflicts are expensive. The financial toll is not just on military spending, but also on rebuilding infrastructure, supporting local economies, and humanitarian aid. Over time, these costs accumulate, straining the budgets of even the most affluent nations. And it's not just about money, there's a human cost too. The longer a conflict lasts, the greater the toll on the soldiers involved and the civilian population. This can lead to a loss of morale, both on the battlefield and at home, further complicating the military strategy. Finally, the duration itself poses a challenge. In a drawn-out conflict, adversaries have time to adapt to strategies, learn from mistakes, and develop countermeasures. This constant evolution makes long-term conflicts a complex game of chess, where every move has far-reaching consequences. In Afghanistan, these factors combine to create a complex and challenging environment. The prolonged operations, the evolving mission objectives, the financial and human costs, all contributed to a level of complexity that was difficult to navigate. The complexity of long-term conflict further complicates military operations in Afghanistan. It underscores the need for clear, flexible strategies that can adapt to changing circumstances while keeping sight of the ultimate goals. It's a lesson that any military power operating in such conditions must take to heart. Different missions demand different strategies. In Afghanistan, combat missions and stabilization efforts required diverse approaches. This is not a game of chess where pieces move on a predictable grid. It's more like a game of three-dimensional chess, with multiple layers of strategy and tactics in play. Combat missions, as the name suggests, involve direct confrontation with enemy forces. These missions are high-intensity, high-stakes endeavors, requiring a significant amount of resources and manpower. They are characterized by their offensive nature, aiming to disrupt enemy operations and establish control. On the other hand, stabilization efforts are a whole different ballgame. These missions focus on rebuilding infrastructure, establishing governance, and winning the hearts and minds of the local population. They are more defensive, long-term, and require a deep understanding of the local culture, politics, and social dynamics. In Afghanistan, the strategic transition from combat to stabilization was not a simple switch. It was a complex process marked by numerous phases, each with its own unique challenges. The shift had to be gradual, with periods of overlap where combat operations were still being conducted while stabilization efforts were starting to take root. The different nature of these missions required different types of resources, different kinds of expertise, and different strategies. And these strategic transitions, coupled with the geopolitical complexities and the rugged terrain, made Afghanistan a tough nut to crack for even the most powerful militaries. The mission differences further add to the complexity of military operations in Afghanistan. The operational environment in Afghanistan presents its own unique challenges. The most significant of these is the concept of asymmetric warfare. This type of conflict is characterized by one side relying on unconventional tactics, such as guerrilla warfare and terrorism, while the other employs traditional military strategies and tactics. In Afghanistan, the smaller, less equipped forces often use the rugged terrain to their advantage, hiding in the mountains and launching surprise attacks. They were able to blend into the local population, making it difficult for the superpowers to distinguish friend from foe. This scenario created a logistical nightmare for the traditional military forces, who were geared towards fighting a conventional war. Moreover, the intricate tribal and social structures of Afghanistan further complicated matters. Understanding these dynamics is crucial to gaining local support and navigating the complex social landscape, but it's a task that proved difficult for foreign forces. Then, there's the issue of sustainability. The superpowers had to maintain a continuous presence in the country, which required a significant investment of resources over a long period of time. This drain on manpower, equipment, and finances added to the difficulties faced. In essence, the operational environment in Afghanistan is a multi-layered labyrinth of challenges. It's not just about who has the most advanced technology or the biggest military. The landscape, the people, the politics, they all intertwine to create a complex web that can ensnare even the most powerful of armies. The operational environment in Afghanistan is a significant factor in the struggles faced by superpowers. From these challenges, we can draw some key strategic lessons. Firstly, logistics are paramount. The ability to maneuver, supply, and support your forces is pivotal for success in any military operation. In Afghanistan, the logistical challenge was exacerbated by rugged terrain and remote regions, transforming logistics into a complex, often insurmountable hurdle. Secondly, geography matters. Afghanistan's rugged mountain ranges and vast deserts presented a unique set of challenges for the superpowers. It's a stark reminder that despite advances in technology, the physical environment remains a significant factor in military operations. Thirdly, the importance of clear objectives cannot be overstated. In Afghanistan, the superpowers' objectives evolved over time, leading to prolonged operations and escalating costs. This highlights the need for clear, achievable goals at the outset of any military intervention. Lastly, long-term planning is essential. In military operations, short-term victories can be overshadowed by long-term strategic failures. The superpowers' experiences in Afghanistan underscore the importance of a comprehensive, long-term approach to conflict and stabilization efforts. These strategic lessons are critical for understanding the complexity of modern conflict outcomes. They serve as a sobering reminder that military might is not solely defined by advanced technology or vast budgets. Rather, it's a complex interplay of logistics, geography, clear objectives, and long-term planning that often determines the outcome of modern warfare. Afghanistan remains one of the most complex military environments in modern history. The ordeal underscored that advanced technology alone doesn't ensure victory. Geography, logistics, mission clarity, and long-term planning all steer the course of modern conflicts. Subscribe to In the Scope for more military analysis and defense insights.